All right, here we go.
And rolling sound. Quiet.
And action.
In 2010, an accident takes place in the mine shafts of an Ethiopian Hebrew mining company. While everyone outside is preoccupied with the incident, two workers see an opportunity and secretly return to the mine. There, they recover a rare and valuable black opal. This is the uncut gem. In 2012, Howard Ratner, Adam Sandler, the owner of a jewelry store in New York City's Diamond District, is grappling with mounting gambling debts, including a $100,000 owed to a loan shark named Arno. Arno and his men aggressively confront Howard for his inability to settle the loan, humiliating him in front of his customers. They slap him in his own jewelry shop, making an example of his failure to repay. As a warning, and to prevent further harm, they seize his $20,000 watch, leaving him shaken and powerless in the face of their intimidation. Howard holds a lucrative job, but his lifestyle is even more costly. He struggles with a gambling addiction and maintains a lavish home on Long Island for his wife, Dinah, an apartment in Manhattan for his mistress, Julia, and a swimming pool that requires resurfacing. His personal life is divided between his mistress, Julia, and his estranged wife, Dinah, who has agreed to divorce him after Passover. Despite having $100,000 in cash, Howard spends it on a 600-carat black opal from Ethiopia's Welo mine, which he smuggles into the U.S. He gambles that he can sell the opal for up to $1 million. Damani, one of his employees and an intermediary who finds clients for him, manages to secure basketball player Kevin Garnett as a potential buyer. Garnett becomes captivated by the opal and is determined to own it. Howard refuses to sell the opal, stating that he plans to auction it. However, Garnett insists on keeping the opal with him for good luck during his game that night. Reluctantly, Howard agrees to Garnett's request, taking the basketball player's championship ring as collateral. He immediately pawns the ring for $21,000, using the money to place a large bet on the game, with plans to buy the opal back using his winnings. Howard had already given his broker $19,000 for a different bet, but he cancels that wager and instead makes a new one for $40,000. Howard places a risky six-way parlay worth $600,000, betting that Garnett will perform well. Unfortunately for Howard, Arno's men spot him while he's placing the bet. Howard wins his bet on the game, but Demini tells him that Garnett wants to hold on to the opal for a longer period. Later, Howard is ambushed at his daughter's school play by Arno and his bodyguards, Phil and Nico. When Howard explains that he can repay Arno with the money he won, Arno reveals that he placed a stop on the bet, as it was made with money owed to him. The trio then strip Howard naked and lock him in the trunk of his own car, forcing him to call Dinah to let him out. Desperate, Howard rushes that night to a party hosted by The Weeknd, which Damani is attending in search of the opal. He ends up getting into a confrontation with the singer after discovering him and Julia together in a bathroom. Howard angrily scolds Julia and kicks her out of his apartment. During Passover dinner, it is revealed that Arno is actually Howard's brother-in-law. Dinah rejects Howard's plea to give their marriage another chance. When Howard brags to their father-in-law, Gooey, about the opal and how much money it will make, Arno takes notice and becomes interested in the upcoming auction. Kevin Garnett soon returns the opal and offers Howard $250,000 for it, but Howard refuses, citing the significantly higher appraisal value. He lies, saying he left Garnett's ring at home. Meanwhile, Damani quits after discovering that Howard had pawned Garnett's ring, along with other clients' collateral. Howard angrily berates Damani for allowing Garnett to hold on to the opal for so long. In a fit of rage, Damani vandalizes Howard's office. At the auction, Howard is devastated to find that the opal has been appraised for far less than his estimate, valued at only $155,000. Desperate, he persuades Gooey to bid on the gem to drive up the price. However, this backfires when Garnett withdraws before the bid reaches $200,000, leaving Gooey with the winning bid at $180,000. Arno, Phil, and Nico confront him outside the auction, assault him, and then toss him into a fountain. Howard returns to his shop, battered and emotionally broken, where Julia comforts him, and the two begin to repair their relationship. Shortly after, Howard receives a call from Garnett's assistant, informing him that Garnett still wants to buy the opal for $175,000. Howard retrieves Garnett's championship ring, by offering his own 1973 Knicks championship ring as collateral. He then finalizes the deal for the opal, with Garnett paying him $165,000 for it. Instead of immediately paying off his debts, Howard becomes consumed by the idea of betting on Garnett's connection to the opal. He gives the money to Julia, instructing her to bet it all on Garnett's game that night. Julia takes the money and boards a helicopter to the Mohegan Sun Casino to place the bet, narrowly escaping Arno, Phil, and Nico, who have come to collect. They become furious when they learn about the bet, but Howard locks them in the vestibule of the store. Frantically, Howard watches the game with his money on the line, while Arno and his muscle stand by, watching alongside him. In the end, Howard's gamble proves successful, earning him more than $1.2 million. As Howard rejoices and frees the trio from the vestibule, an enraged Phil abruptly shoots him in the head. A horrified Arno protests and tries to escape, but Phil kills him as well. An overjoyed Julia leaves with the winnings on her way back to Howard, unaware that he's been murdered. Meanwhile, Phil and Nico continue to loot the store's contents as the police head toward the scene and the movie comes to a close. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe for more film caps.